Hey, what's up everyone? Paul here from dropshippingtitans.com. Today's Tuesday, which means that it's time for another live Q&A. This is a time of the week when I sit down for about an hour. You guys can ask me any questions that you have about making money online, anything I talk about here on the channel. I do my best to answer those questions for you. So you got to be here live, so make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification, join us pretty much every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Mountain Time. Come into the live chat, ask your questions, and I'll do my best to answer them for you. Here on this channel, I talk a lot about dropshipping on different marketplaces like eBay. We've done Amazon in the past, Facebook Marketplace, and some other ways that we look to make money online. Everything from robocalls to cryptocurrency is something new that we've been exploring. So if that interests you, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Join us, ask your questions. All right, let's see who's here and what questions you guys have for me this week. We have Marjorie coming in saying number 3 on the like, so I really appreciate you coming in, giving this video a big thumbs up to let me know that you appreciate it. Okay, Dale here with a question. Dale says, hey Paul, what's the advantage of having more than one Facebook Marketplace shop? You told us you have a few. Is it just in case an account gets suspended? Excellent question, Dale. So for those of you who are not familiar with what it is that Dale is talking about, let me quickly break down for you what it is that I primarily do and talk about here on the channel. And that is marketplace dropshipping, and specifically, or more specifically, I should say, retail marketplace dropshipping. It's a lot of words there. So basically what this is we go onto websites that already exist, marketplaces like Facebook Marketplace or eBay. These are existing websites, so we don't have to build them ourselves. We don't have to code anything. It is there. We just have to sign up to actually start selling on those sites. Then what we do is we start listing up items for sale on those marketplaces. So I'll go on Facebook Marketplace and say, hey, I want to sell this item. Now, these items that we're listing up, we don't own those items. They're not in stock in our warehouse or in our house or in our garage or anything like that. These are items that we are finding on other websites like Walmart.com. So all I'm doing is going on Walmart, doing some product research, finding some good items, then taking everything from Walmart, pasting it into a new listing on Facebook Marketplace, and then that item is now live on Facebook Marketplace. So once the item sells, all I do is turn around and buy the item from Walmart with my credit card. And for the shipping address, I don't enter in my address. I take the address from the customer on Facebook and enter it instead so that Walmart ships the item directly to our customer. So that's basically what we do. On eBay, it's pretty much the same, but we use wholesale suppliers, but it's pretty much the same kind of concept or principle right there. Now, Facebook Shops is what I just talked about, selling on Facebook Marketplace, but it's another way to sell on Facebook Marketplace that's a lot more automated. It's kind of next level because it really allows you to scale up with Facebook Marketplace in a way that's harder to do if you're just selling directly on Facebook Marketplace. So we're still selling on Facebook Marketplace when we're using shops. We are just selling the items or listing the items through shops first. So the question is, why would you want to have more than one Facebook shop? This is something I talk about in my training. I've set up multiple shops. There's a few reasons you would want to set up multiple shops. The primary reason, and this is something I talk about in my course, is that it is difficult to get a shop approved. You'll set up a shop and then Facebook will review it and say, yes, it's approved, or no, it's not approved. Very, very normal. So if your shop gets not approved, that is very normal. Don't feel frustrated by that or disappointed. Most people go through a few shops that are not approved before they actually get a shop that is approved. So one of the reasons of setting up multiple shops is just to kind of speed that process up. You set up multiple of them and then hopefully one of them gets approved, or best case scenario, most or all of them get approved, which is kind of what happened to me. Now, as for actually running your shops, I've only really put focus on one shop. I have multiple of them. The other ones I use a little bit to experiment, try things, but really it's just the one shop that I use. So once you get through past that phase, I'm still maintaining the other shops because just like you said, it's good to have backups in case something happens to the main shop. But primarily all my focus is on that one shop. Other people have different opinions about that, which I respect, but I respectfully disagree. A lot of people think that shops need to be very niched. So in other words, you'll create a shop and let's say you only sell chairs or maybe like living room furniture. They think you have to be very niche in your shop in order to get it approved and to have one up and running with Facebook. In my experience, that is not the case. The shop that I run is a kind of like miscellaneous retail store where I sell pretty much everything and anything, and that has not been an issue at all. Okay. Try to move my computer closer. I can't really see too well. All right. Edward said, I had an almost 2-year-old Amazon LLC with an EIN, bank accounts. Oh, okay. So the question is, Edward set up, and there we go. I can see a lot better now. I just made things larger on my screen. So Edward said he set up a business, an LLC for his Amazon store. He did this years ago. He set up the EIN for it, the bank account information, all this kind of stuff. It's not necessarily necessary, I guess you could say, for running these different kinds of drop shipping businesses, but it's definitely recommended because then when you set up a real business, you have maybe liability protection, potentially tax benefits. There are advantages to having set up your own business. But most people, when they just start doing this drop shipping, they're not going to set up an LLC or a corporation or anything like that because they're just getting started. They're just trying it out. That's what I did when I started. I just started selling on eBay. And then after a while, I said, hey, this is working. Now I will go ahead and set up an LLC. But you have to determine that for yourself. In this case, Edward set it up for Amazon, not using it, and wants to know, can he use that for his Facebook shop, all that business and everything? Edward, the answer is probably, but you actually have to go into your LLC and see when you formed it, what did you state was the purpose of the LLC? Most states, when you set up an LLC, they will ask you, what is the purpose of this LLC? What is the purpose of your business? So like you might say, okay, we are a lawn care company, or we're an ice cream shop, or we drop ship on Amazon, right? So if you said that, then you're technically not allowed to use that business to do something else, like start selling on Facebook. But look at the language, because when I set up my businesses, I always say the business exists for any legal purpose. So again, speak to like an attorney about that language and what language you should use. But that says to me that I can use this for any legal reason, right? This business exists for multiple reasons. I'm going to use it to kind of run multiple businesses all under the umbrella of my LLC. So you got to look at the language there and kind of take it from there. And also make sure that the business is still in existence. Check with your state, make sure you've been paying your dues, you've been filing all the correct paperwork in order to keep your LLC running so that does actually still exist. But assuming all that checks out, then yeah, you're good to go. Okay. Cali Classic says, does Walmart ship the receipt with the package when using them as a supplier, even if you go the registry route? I heard that has happened. So in this dropshipping model, the one that I explained where you're buying it from Walmart, Walmart shipping it directly to the customer, when I tell people about this, this is the number one question that I get. Won't the customer know that the item is coming from Walmart? Won't there be a receipt or invoice inside the box? Aren't customers going to get mad about this? So the good news is that if you're using a wholesale supplier, which is what we do on eBay, they will not include an invoice like that because they know that you are selling to a customer. And so that they're not going to include an invoice in the box when you're buying from wholesale. Now, if you're buying from retail suppliers like Walmart, there is a possibility that the retailer you use, might include the invoice in the box. Now, luckily, I've been doing this for a while. A lot of other drop shippers have been doing this for a while. We know what suppliers do and don't do that. Walmart is a supplier that doesn't include the receipt or invoice in the box. A lot of people say, well, what if we, do we have to kind of add the item to a gift registry first and then do it that way, or do a guest checkout? Now, you don't have to do any of that. I haven't done any of that. The item gets to the customer and there's no receipt or invoice in the box, so they're not going to know how much you paid for it. Now, it will say Walmart on this side of the box, but we do not see very many customers who care at all. In fact, I've been doing a lot of drop shipping from Walmart to Facebook shops, and I haven't had a single customer complain about that yet. My theory behind that is that they are getting the package in a Walmart box, but they probably just think you went to Walmart to buy the boxes, if that makes sense. They're probably not thinking that the item is actually coming from Walmart. Whatever the case may be, very, very few customers complain about it. It's probably because Walmart doesn't include it in the box. Home Depot includes a slip of paper in there, but it doesn't include the price. If you dropship from Amazon, Amazon does have a gift option on checkout. I would use that. All the other suppliers, case by case basis. So you should order something for yourself, have it delivered to your home, and then see if there's an invoice in it. So like Lowe's does include the price in the box, and I used to dropship a lot from Lowe's, and it was a big problem. That's like a giveaway right there. Now, that in and of itself is not a deal breaker, okay? So I kept dropshipping from Lowe's even though they included the invoice in the box because they had some other really good things going for them. Now, at this point, Lowe's has gotten very frustrating to work with. Things stack up, right? That's just one consideration, the invoice. They had the invoice, their returns were a problem, customer service got worse. All these things kind of stacked up and told me at some point it's just not worth it to dropship from Lowe's anymore. But if the only problem with Lowe's was the invoice, I would probably still do it and just deal with the customer service because everything else made it worth it. How can I know if I can dropship from a certain retail store that is listed on Autods? I'm not 100% sure what you mean by that, Troy, but let me try to answer your question for you. So when we are dropshipping on eBay and Facebook Marketplace, there is software that we can use to help us automate our dropshipping business. So this software helps us to quickly list items onto eBay or Facebook Marketplace, and it helps us to reprice and restock those items. So like on eBay, if we're dropshipping from Walmart to eBay and the item on Walmart's price goes up, Autods will automatically increase the price on eBay for us so that we don't have to do it. So there's lots of software out there that does this. I really like Autods. It's the one I've been using for a while. So Autods is one that I use. Now, Autods doesn't work with every supplier on the internet, like every website. It works with a bunch. So your question is, how can I know if I can dropship from a certain retail store that's listed in Autods? The general rule is that, rule of thumb is that if there is a retailer that works with Autods, then it's good to go, because Autods doesn't just add any random retailers to their software to allow it to work with it. They're going to add the retailers that people actually use, that other dropshippers actually use. So if you see it showing up in Autods, there's a good reason for it, and that's because other people are successfully dropshipping from that supplier onto eBay. Omar says, hey, Paul, unfortunately, Amazon dropshipping is really hard for me. So I think that eBay dropshipping is easier and better than Amazon for dropshipping at all. Yeah, man, I agree with you there. So like I said in the beginning, this channel for me is all about experimenting, trying lots of different ways to make money online. You know, a lot of that's around dropshipping because that's what I'm known for, what I've seen the most success with. I've done Amazon dropshipping. I did it for a few years. It's gotten much harder. It's not impossible. The strategies still work, but it's become much harder. And I think when you compare Amazon to eBay, Amazon to Facebook Marketplace, I think your time's more well spent other places. Amazon really doesn't really care for dropshipping, and they really don't care for dropshipping from other retailers. And they've gotten really good at like cracking down on that. Again, not impossible. There's plenty of people going, doing it anyway and making a lot of money from it. You can definitely do wholesale drop shipping on Amazon. That is allowed. And People are making a lot of money with that as well, but I just think the rules are more lax with eBay and Facebook Marketplace, and it's a better route to go. Walmart versus Target, which one is better, everyone? Hands down, Walmart. Walmart is still one of the best places to drop ship from. I mentioned some of the reasons, right? They don't include the invoice in the box. They have so many different items on their website. And this is really where they stand out, because when you start working with the supplier, you will instantly get access to their entire inventory of items. All those items pretty much you can drop ship onto your marketplace. So this is so much different than a traditional business, where with a traditional business, you have to go out and source items. You might connect with a supplier, and with that supplier, like a wholesale supplier, you might only get like a small handful of items that you actually want to sell. But with Walmart, you instantly get access to millions of items that you can drop ship. So it's an excellent place to drop ship, great customer service. Everything about them is great. Target, very similar to Walmart, right? You would think that they're very comparable. The problem with Target is that they really don't like dropshippers or resellers specifically. I don't think they really understand dropshipping. They just don't like resellers. So by that, I mean, even if you go into a physical Target store, and a lot of people do this, well, they'll see an item that's on sale and they'll buy up a bunch of them to then go resell them on eBay or Amazon for a higher price. Target does not want you doing that. If someone catches you doing that at Target, they're supposed to stop you and tell you you're not supposed to do it. And if you keep doing it, they're supposed to ban you from the store. Like, that's their policy. And it's easier for them to catch that when you're doing it online, right? They can look at your account and see, hey, you're shipping to like 30 different addresses a week or a day. It's very obvious that you are a reseller, and they don't want you doing that. So they'll then stop your purchases from Target. So Walmart's definitely better. Yes. Albert says, hey, Paul, are you going to be partaking into the Cryptobots? They look very promising, and a lot of people across the online business space have been recommending it. 100% Albert. I've been looking at these Cryptobots for a couple of weeks now. Actually longer than that, but seriously in the last couple of weeks. So if you guys aren't familiar with what we're talking about, I'm actually going to be releasing a video tomorrow morning talking about this. There's a new course out there that teaches how to use these Cryptobots, not my course, but someone else's. And I'll be doing a review of that course and what I think of it. That'll be coming out tomorrow. And then I'll be releasing a video on Thursday actually showing some of my Cryptobots. So make sure to check out those videos if you have any questions or doubts about this. But basically what these are is, we're all, not all of us, a lot of us are trying to make money with cryptocurrency, right? We hear the stories about people who became very rich with it. I'm going to speak from personal experience. I see people doing it and I'm like very intrigued. I want to learn more about crypto. I want to make money with crypto, and I just haven't really known where to start. I've been buying crypto for a few years, technically since 2019, I believe, but I still feel like I don't really understand it and how to make money with it. And I haven't made a ton of money with it. I've definitely made some good money, but not like as much as I've seen other people make. So I've been like wondering how you can trade these cryptocurrencies. And a few months ago, I heard about these Cryptobots that basically day trade cryptocurrency for you. And the way they're set up, the bots can never lose money. They can only make money, which sounds completely like insane and like that's not true, but it is true. So this is something I'm going to talk about tomorrow and Thursday in my videos. So it's really, really cool, but I wasn't sure, like that sounds very complicated, setting up a bot. And luckily a couple of weeks ago, my buddy Steve told me about this course that you can take that teaches you how to do it. He had high praise about it and someone I really trust. So I've joined up and I'm taking the course. I've gone through the whole thing now. I'm setting up my bots and it's very, very promising. The results I'm seeing are incredible so far. Really eager to kind of share it with you guys and show you what it's all about and how the whole thing works. So definitely check it out before you sign up for any sort of program or course out there about crypto, because I tried a bunch of them and this is the only one that's worked for me. So yeah, pretty excited about that. I'm always looking for new ways to diversify income. I've doing a lot with drop shipping, but I want my money to work for me, right? And that's what appeals to me so much about these Cryptobots, is because I can take my money, put it into crypto. Not all of it, of course. I'm going to spread out my risk. It's going to be a small portion, but enough of a portion. Put it in, and then these bots are going to passively make me money for me. Because once you set them up, you don't have to go in every day. You can go in like once a month. You can go in a little bit more if you want to build more bots, but you just have to go in, check on them every once in a while and see how well they're doing. And that's what I wanted, because I don't want to be actively trading and spending time figuring this out. I want to concentrate on the drop shipping and then put the money in there to work on autopilot, that is exactly what this is doing. So stay tuned to the video tomorrow about that, or the video on Thursday. First, smash that like button. Thanks for the reminder, Omar. Any advice on high ticket products? Yeah, man. So dropshipping high ticket items is, well, first of all, that's like, what is a high ticket, right? For everyone, that's a little bit different. Some people say anything over $100. Some say over $200, $250. Depends on you. But I think for beginners, you should really concentrate. You should not go over $100 for beginners. I would stick even to like $75 or less. And the reason for that, there's a few reasons. One of the first is that, of course, if anything happens to that sale, and you end up not getting the money for whatever reason, like the item doesn't get delivered, but you're still charged by the supplier. These are all issues that you learn to work with, and you're able to work with the supplier and get your money back. But if you don't know how to do that, it can be very stressful in the beginning. If it's a higher ticket item, you might not know how to do it or figure out how to do it, and then you're actually out that money. So you want to do that. You want to learn that stuff for cheaper items and not the more expensive ones. But the other reason that I say to avoid them is because higher ticket items don't sell as frequently as cheaper items. So let's say you have an item that costs $250 listed and an item that costs $10 listed. That $10 item is going to sell sooner than the $250 item. It's going to sell more frequently than the more expensive item. It might sell like 20 times before the other item sells. So in the beginning, you just want to concentrate on learning how it works, generating sales to prove to the marketplace that you are a good, reliable seller. Because once you can do that, they will start sending you more traffic. So if you have more expensive items, you're not going to get a lot of sales. You're not going to be able to prove yourself to the marketplace. So stick with the cheaper ones for now. Learn how the system works, get more sales coming in, prove to the marketplace, so that increases your sales as well. So that's why I kind of tell beginners to stay away from the more expensive products in the beginning. You could always start doing that later. Oh man, that stinks. That's definitely happened to me, man. So he says, no Woofo says, you ask questions a lot and I still always stumble over your name. I feel like there's an easier way to say it, or I'm saying it incorrectly. But no Woofo says, gotta love when both my top selling products go out of stock permanently on Walmart in 1 week. Back to the product research stage. Man, that sucks. Yeah. So one of the really cool things about dropshipping is you can do research. Find an item that's selling well, list it up for sale, and then if that item sells, it will keep selling. It can keep selling, over and over and over again. And that like hour or two of product research that you did months ago just continues to pay off because it just keeps selling over and over again without you having to do any more research. One of the things I love about dropshipping, especially this kind of dropshipping, but sometimes those items go out of stock permanently. And when that happens, it's like, oh, it sucks because that's like one of your top winning products. That's why I say you always have to keep feeding the beast. Never fall asleep on your store. Keep feeding the beast. Because let's say I list this up and it just keeps selling. I'm like, okay, great. I can sit back now. I'm done. And then it goes out of stock permanently. Now I'm back to square one and I don't have anything else in my store that's really selling that well. But if I list this up and it starts selling really well and I keep doing research and I list this up and with 20 other items, but then this one starts selling really, really well. And then I keep going and I have like 8 really good, best top selling products. If one of them goes out of stock, if 2 of them go out of stock permanently, That's okay, because I have 6 or 7 others that will continue to do well. And then those ones will be replaced as well. That's what I mean when I say feed the beast. You got to continually be adding these products into your stores. Hey, what's up, Rich? Good to see you again, man. How's Florida? Colorado, it is pretty cold, so I'm kind of missing those rays down in Florida. Yeah, you know what? I don't really pay attention too much to views on any sort of marketplace. A lot of people will say things like, "Oh, I'm getting so many views and no sales," and that's a really good indication that there's something wrong with your listing. People are clicking on it. People are looking at it, but they're not buying. Why? Is your price wrong? Is there something in your description that's wrong? Is your shipping time too long? These are all things that I would look at. But aside from that, views, I don't really pay a lot of attention to at all. So, and I think one of the reasons for that is because I know it's not always accurate, the views, based on when I used to look at them on eBay, and then I know people have said that about Facebook as well. Hello from the bed. Dropshipping from the bed. Love it, Johnny. Are you in Florida too? Sweet, man. Christopher, welcome to the course. Congratulations on getting started. Make sure you join the private mastermind. That is a really great, the private forum mastermind. Really great place to connect with other members of the eBay course and kind of get inspiration from them and get help from them as well. Colorado, man. There's no way to really do it fast. So Abdel here says, how do you increase your selling limits fast? I know you're talking about eBay because that's the only place that has selling limits. So on eBay, when you start selling, they're going to limit the number of items that you can list and sell. They want to make sure that you are a legitimate seller, okay? They don't want you coming in and making a bunch of sales and then not being able to handle those sales. So they kind of cap how many items you can list and sell. And they tell you what those limits are. But those limits do get up. They do increase those limits. How do you increase them? Well, the only way to do it is to get sales. You got to get sales. So first thing you do is list up as many items as you can. The more items you have, the more likely you'll get sales. You also want those items to be as cheap as possible. Again, cheaper items sell faster. So max out your listings with cheap items. Get sales going. Get sales. Prove to eBay that you are able to deliver items to their customers, that the customers are happy. That is how you increase your sales. And your limits, because then every 30 days, eBay will, if you ask them, increase your selling limits, which is exactly what you want. All right, Reseller 2 has said, hey, Paul, I've been charging shipping for my eBay items and sales have stayed consistent. Do you recommend charging small shipping fees to your customers? Hey, man, that's awesome. I can only speak from my experience. Every time I've tried to charge for shipping, my sales have gone down. But it looks like it's working for you, which is really cool to see. And I mean, every time I've charged for shipping on eBay, my sales have gone down. But it's working for you, man. So I would keep doing it. If it works, keep doing it. Then I teach this in my eBay course. I think I teach in my Facebook course. You have to experiment for yourself. I teach in my courses the foundational information and then a whole lot more. So I'm getting you like 95, I'm getting you 100% of the way there. But if you then want to take things to a next level, you have to experiment for yourself, okay? I give you everything that you need, but then you can then take that, experiment with it. Say, okay, Paul said this. I know that works because I'm doing it and it's working. But what if I just change that? Let me experiment. Let me try this a little bit and then see how that works. So, I teach to give free shipping, but you tried something different and it's working for you. And I think that's awesome. Okay. You cannot argue with results. If you're making more money doing it that way, that's what you should do. It's really cool to see. And I would keep doing it. If it stops working, then maybe you should, if your sales start going down, try eliminating free shipping and then seeing if they come back. I'm all about experimentation. All these experiments, I teach my students the results of them, but I always encourage people to try stuff for themselves as well. What do you do about Amazon tracking numbers for Facebook Marketplace, says David. There is a solution for that. Oh, is this pretty loud? This microphone, am I like too close? Give me a second. I think it's going a little loud. No. Okay. Might be a little better. There is a solution for that. It's one of those like, well, it's a bit of a gray area. So it's not something I can really share publicly, because if I teach it to everyone, it will get abused and then it will stop working. So this is something I only teach my students, unfortunately. And they've paid for information like that. So that stuff, like the exact strategies, exact pricing strategies, these are all things that my students have paid for. So that's why I save it for them. Albert says, do I still recommend FBM Fox for shops? There are some issues with the integrations. I think you mean integrations. Anyway, yeah, I still use FBM Fox for shops. So FBM Fox is another one of those software I was talking about. This one I use specifically for Facebook shops, which again helps us sell on Facebook Marketplace. I love the FBM Fox. I haven't had any major issues with it. I'm not sure exactly what you're talking about, but please enlighten me. Maybe there's something I don't even know about that's not working. But I do know the developers of the software now. I've been able to meet with them over like a Zoom call just to kind of get an idea of, hey, like I want to make sure that if I'm recommending a software that there's people behind it that are going to continue to make it better and support. Definitely got the impression that that is the case with the developers of this software, which is awesome to see. So if there's any sort of issues, they seem like they're the type of people that would actually fix it. So, but please let me know if there's something I'm missing about that, Albert. Andre says, whenever I try to sign up for a shop, I have to submit my EIN, and it says it doesn't match my company name. Not 100% sure, but my guess is that you didn't enter your company name correctly on Facebook. I would go back to, when you sign up for your EIN, you get a document from the IRS with your EIN number on it, your EIN on it, and on it's also the name of your company. So I would write it out exactly like it's on that document, like all the same abbreviations. If there's no commas on there, don't use any commas, all that stuff exactly. So if you're not familiar with what we're talking about, when you set up a business like an LLC or corporation, or even if you work as an individual, your business can have what's called an employer identification number, EIN. It's kind of like a social security number for your business. You kind of think of it that way. So it's unique to every business. So when you're signing up for different sorts of things like Facebook shops, they're going to ask for that EIN. So you need one. You can get them for free from the IRS, from the irs.gov website. And so I guess that's all I have to say about it. So just make sure it's listed on there exactly the same. All right. Okay. Dale says, at this point in your dropshipping business, what percentage do you spend doing product research, or do you outsource most of your dropshipping business? Must a person put in 40 hours a week? Yeah, I outsource pretty much everything at this point. I'm not very hands-on except with new stuff. So anytime I do something new, I'm much more hands-on with it. So like, for instance, shops is still pretty new for me. I'm doing a lot of it myself. That's got to change very soon. I got to hire my VA for that. But for now, it's more me. So no, I don't do product research myself. I don't think it's necessary to do 40 hours a week. It really depends on how big your store has grown. You can certainly have a virtual assistant who's working 40 hours a week, or they might be working less, especially if you have good software that's working. And this is one of the things I love about dropshipping. With this model, it's all online. So I can have virtual assistants from the Philippines helping me run my dropshipping businesses, helping me answer emails, all these sorts of things, so that I can spend more time learning new stuff or making these videos, going live with you guys, or whatever it is that I want to do. For me, I love being an entrepreneur. I love trying new stuff. If I didn't have the software and the virtual assistants, I would still be doing just eBay because I wouldn't have time for anything else. But I've been able to try new stuff like these Cryptobots that I'm looking at. Super excited about them. I feel really grateful that I have the time to dive in and figure them out. And I know I only have to spend like a couple of weeks figuring this out. I think really only a week because I pretty much, after going through the whole course that I took, feel like I know as much as I need to know for now about how to run them, set them up, and then I could just set them and forget them, which is brilliant for me. So then I can go back to doing like Facebook and Amazon and other stuff like that. So that's what I love about it. And guys, if you guys want to make sure, like I said, I'm going to be making videos here more about these Cryptobots and how they've been working in the course that I took. Check out the video I have tomorrow. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Check out the video I have tomorrow about the course I took. And the video on Thursday will show a bot that I've been working on. I've been working on a few of them. I want to give them a few days to actually work before I actually show you how they work or how it's working for me. Definitely check out those videos I have coming Wednesday and Thursday, tomorrow and the day after. Karsten says, I've opened stores on Facebook before, but I haven't been able to post the items in Marketplace, only on my feed. So I think what you mean is that you've set up a Facebook shop, but the items are not appearing in Facebook Marketplace. So remember, I mentioned this, I alluded to this briefly before. When we're selling, there's two ways to sell in Facebook Marketplace. The first way is you just list items directly onto Facebook Marketplace. That's like direct, simple, easy. It's the way beginners should start because it's so straightforward and simple to do. The second way is you list items into a Facebook shop that you create, and then the shop will push the items to Facebook Marketplace. So the items are still appearing on Facebook Marketplace. That's still where the customer will buy it. But in version 1, we sell directly onto Facebook Marketplace. In version 2, we do it through shops. But by doing it through shops, we get a lot of the benefits of shops like automation, we can use software, VA access, setting up as a business, all that sort of stuff. Now, just because you set up a Facebook shop does not necessarily mean that Facebook will approve the integration with Facebook Marketplace. In other words, you might set up a shop, be approved for a shop. You might start listing items in your shop, but Facebook might not push them to Facebook Marketplace. You need that connection approved. So Facebook at the moment is not adding any more of those integrations between shops and Marketplace until January. But it's coming up quick, less than a month away. You want to be ready for it, so make sure you get everything set up now so that when January 1st comes, hey, it's a great time to start a new project, right? You have new goals, new money-making goals, new passive income goals. You can get your shop set up now, ready to go for January 1st once that connection between shops and Marketplace is approved for you. Is there a software where I don't have to link my account, but it keeps inventory of supplier items in stock? Yes, there is. So, yes. So all the software that I've been talking about, for the most part, the way it works is like Autods with eBay. Autods will connect to two things. It will connect with eBay, your eBay store, and it'll connect with like Walmart and all the other retailers. So what will happen is if the price on Walmart changes, Autods will detect that, and then it will send that information to eBay, to your eBay store. Now, there are ways to kind of use that software without linking it to anything, to your account, that is. So with eBay, with Autods, the way I use it is there's kind of a workaround where it doesn't directly integrate or connect with my eBay store. Instead, it kind of sends the information manually another way. Still kind of a connection, but not a direct API connection. There's other ways you can do it as well. So you can just get email notifications. You can do that with Autods. You can do that with SKU Grid is another one, where you actually get an email telling you, hey, that item on Walmart, its price went up or it went out of stock. So then you can then log into your marketplace and make the changes manually. And therefore, there's no connection between the software and eBay or Facebook. Trying to think if there's another solution for that, but I think those are the best solutions for that. Kimberly says, not dropshipping related. Totally okay, Kimberly, because like I said, we talk about a lot here. But how about Dan Holling's webinar? Crazy cool stuff, and hope you had a great Thanksgiving. I did, Kimberly. Thanks so much. Hope your Thanksgiving was great as well. Thanks for always coming by and leaving great comments, asking great questions. Yeah, Dan Hollings is the guy, the man that I was talking about, who's teaching me about these Cryptobots. And he had a webinar last week that was incredible. And because of that webinar, I joined his program. I'm in it. I'm learning about it. And now that I know more about it, I kind of reach out to their team and said, hey guys, like a lot of my audience, I didn't really talk about the Cryptobots a ton because I didn't really know what they were. But now that I'm getting into it, I'm really loving this stuff. I want to show my audience, but you've already closed down the webinar. Can you do another one? So they're doing another one this week. If you guys want to make sure you get that, I guess I'll have it. Actually, I'll put it in the link in the description of this video. You can join that webinar he's hosting late this week. I think it's on Thursday. And see what this is all about. It's free to watch the webinar, so there's like no obligation there. You can check out what it's all about. But it's really, really crazy cool stuff that he's teaching how to do with Cryptobots. Okay, that would piss me off. Just kidding. Okay. What do I do if actually, let me send you guys that link real quick. If I can find it. Give me 1 second. And I'll try to answer this at the same time. What do you do if the item is not shipped from where I purchased the item and buyer wants a tracking number? Okay, so sometimes when you go to fulfill an order, either from a retail supplier or a wholesale supplier, you're going to find that after a certain number of days, they are supposed to ship out the item and give you a tracking number. But they don't always do that. Sometimes it takes too long or something like that. Here's a link right here. So this is a link to the webinar that's later this week. There we go. Okay. And now I totally lost my place of where I was. So what you have to do in this scenario like that is you have to reach out to the supplier and just tell them, hey guys, like, where is this? Okay, that's your job as a dropshipper many times is to I sent you guys the wrong thing, I think. Shoot. Oops, I sent you guys the wrong thing. This is the correct link right here. So I hope that is. So use the second link because that's the correct one. All right. Yeah, ignore the first comment. Maybe can I delete it? Maybe my assistant can delete the first link and just use the second one. Sorry about that, guys. All right. So, yeah, you got to reach out to the supplier and tell them, hey, like, where is this item? It's supposed to be shipped out. Like, that's sometimes your job as a dropshipper. You're the middleman, but that means that you are helping with the customer service. Like, that is where we add value as dropshippers. I experience this a lot with Lowe's, because remember I said Lowe's have pretty bad customer service. If you have never shopped on Lowes.com before and you go to buy something from Lowe's, there's like a 75% chance that you will end up frustrated. Like, it's terrible buying things from Lowes.com. You're like, where's my item? You just don't know how their website works. Like, so many problems. But myself and my team, back then at least, when we were doing Lowe's, we had a lot of experience with Lowe's. So we knew how it worked. We knew who to contact when items weren't shipping out. Like, this is all the stuff that we had figured out. So that is kind of the service that we were providing to our customers, right? They could order from us and they knew they would get the item, and that any sort of issues and complications we would deal with so that they wouldn't have to deal with it. So you have to go in, you have to jump in and figure that out for them. You have to figure out where the item is, contact their support for the supplier's website, and kind of do that for them. Ben says, can I list in different countries on one Facebook account without a store? I'm in Australia. I don't have the store option. Thanks. I don't believe so, but honestly, I don't have experience doing that. Fortunately for me, I am here in the United States. I'm a US citizen. That's where I'm coming from. So I've never set up a store from Australia and tried to sell in the USA. So I don't have a good answer on how to do that. All right, Reseller 2 says, I currently use discounted gift cards, cashback websites, and cashback credit cards. My profit margin on eBay is 9.7%. How can I improve that number? So there's a few things you can try. First, be careful with those discounted gift cards. You don't always know where you're getting them from. It can be pretty sketchy. So I'd be careful with that. How can you improve that number? There are ways you can increase your margin. One thing I found is that as time goes on, as you get more reviews, as you start getting more sales, you can just increase the price of your items and it will not have a substantial negative impact on the volume of sales. This is obviously somewhere you have to experiment. You have to increase your price and see, are my sales going down? Sometimes that's okay if your sales go down, if your overall profit is going up. So you have to run those numbers yourself and kind of see how it all works. But that is something that you should look at. Why did I set up an LLC instead of a corporation? Says A.R. Smith. So an LLC and a corporation, those are two different legal business entities that you could set up. There's a few others as well. The choice is up to you. I mean, you got to do your own research and see what works for you. For myself, the reason I set up an LLC was a few reasons. First of all, an LLC, in my opinion, is one of the simplest businesses that you could set up. That's not a sole proprietor. So I wanted something that was simple. You know, corporations can get complicated to set up, and LLCs usually a very much simpler process to set one up. They also tend to be simpler to run. A lot of times with corporations, there's a lot of rules about how they have to be run. LLCs, they tend to be simpler. They tend to be cheaper as well, while still getting a lot of benefits to them. Again, these are all things, I got just throw out this lawyer disclaimer kind of thing. You have to talk to a lawyer, figure out what works best for you. But because of all those reasons, I found that it really worked well for me. So the way I run it, I get liability protection. I get some tax advantages as well. I have a real legitimate business in the eyes of suppliers that I talk to. So all these things I get with something that was easy to set up. I did it myself. Granted, I do have a law degree. Best thing to dropship on eBay, that changes every day. Every single day that changes. Right now, Christmas stuff, Christmas trees, Christmas decorations, all that sort of stuff. In 3 weeks, those are going to stop selling because it's too late. So it changes every day. Every month, with the exception of this month, I've released a video talking about what you should be selling on eBay that month. And I'm really sorry I didn't get one out this month. It's just a distracting time of the year with e-commerce. And yeah, so I just kind of slipped my mind, to be honest. But I'll be making more videos. And definitely in January, I'll be releasing a new video talking about what you should be selling in January. I might even do one for December, even though it's a bit late. So subscribe to the channel. Don't miss those videos. I've released them every single month. Chris says, if you are brand new to the dropshipping world like me, would you still start out with eBay? Or would you go the Facebook route? Or both at once? Christopher, I mean, personally me, I would go both at once so that I can try both. And then whichever one works, that's the one I would go with. You know, after like a month, 2 months, say, hey, this is working a lot better. That's the one I'm going to go with. But if you had to choose one now, personally at this moment, I would go with Facebook. eBay, and I say that with one caveat. eBay has been around for a long time, and dropshipping on eBay has been around for a long time. So it's always worked. It's changed, but it continued to work. I think it's going to continue to work into the future based on that. Facebook is still really new. Like, we don't know where it's going. But what we do know is that right now it's really freaking hot and it's working so freaking well. So I'm kind of like, well, I would kind of want to do Facebook now, even though it's riskier in a way because we don't know historically how well it's going to do going forward. But you know what? I would do Facebook, and then if for whatever reason it stops in the future, which I honestly don't think it would, then I could always go to eBay after that. Sweet, man. 3 weeks ago, made 4 sales. Now I'm at 10 sales. Awesome, George. Congratulations. I have no idea. I don't think so. I don't know. Oh, I see what you're saying. Not a virtual PO. Okay, I know what you mean by virtual PO box. So virtual PO box is like, there's these websites that will give you like a physical address, like an actual address. So where you can have mail delivered to, and then they'll like scan it for you. I think you can use that. You could try it for yourself. I'm not sure. Tyler's take says, Paul's making us tired over here yawning on camera. Yeah, I tried so hard to keep him in, man. I couldn't do it. I don't know what was happening. Sometimes I don't think I'm actually tired. This is like a weird thing. I think sometimes when I'm on camera, especially during these like hour-long live streams, I feel like I have to like always be talking, like keeping things up and going, because it's not like someone else can jump in and talk for me. So then like I actually like get out of breath, and the yawn kind of helps me catch up. That's my excuse. Okay. So what wholesalers within the US would you recommend? Says Cali Classics. I don't talk about my best wholesalers because that's part of kind of like the research you have to do. And the wholesalers that work really well for me, I don't want to give them away. I know other people are using them, but I don't want to give them away because they're working so well for me. You can go to websites like Inventory Source. And with Inventory Source, they have a whole list of wholesalers that you could potentially use. So I would take a look at them. All those suppliers have been kind of vetted. Otherwise, they wouldn't appear on Inventory Source. Marjorie says, how do you return customers' items to Walmart if they want to return the item? Marjorie, that's pretty easy to do, actually. So what you would do is you would contact Walmart and tell them you want to return the item. Walmart will then give you a prepaid return label that you would then send to the customer on eBay, Facebook, Amazon, wherever it is. And then they would print that out, put it on the box, and ship it back to Walmart. Walmart refunds you, and then you refund the customer. It's pretty simple to do. You can do it from your couch. Hey, Paul. Variety. Whoa. That's a new avatar there. What does it say? Hope you're well. I'm doing well, man. What are your plans for Christmas? Personal plans. Hopefully taking a break, because going into Q4 this time is just always nuts, always crazy, and I'm taking on even more now that I'm doing some crypto stuff. So it would be nice to take a break. I think we might be in California maybe for Christmas, or maybe Florida, or maybe Colorado. Not sure. I think it's a good chance we'll be in California. Amazon FBA or Amazon Dropshipping. I've only really done Amazon Dropshipping. I've done a little bit of Amazon FBA. Maybe we should get Tyler's take on this, because he's done both a lot. So maybe he can I bet he has a video about it. I would go to his channel and see, because he's done a lot of both Amazon FBA and Amazon Dropshipping. So go to his channel and see if he has any videos comparing the two. I think he'd probably say at this point, actually, I'm not sure what he would say. I'm not sure what he would say. But I know for myself, I've done Amazon Dropshipping, and it was great. I know it works really well. I know a lot of people are still doing it. I'm taking a break from Amazon at the moment, but if I get into it again, I think I'm going to be doing Amazon FBA. Ryan says, how many listings per day is safe to create on Facebook Marketplace? I heard too many per day can get you flagged. So Ryan, there's rumors about this. There's always going to be rumors, and I've never seen any concrete proof of it. But this is one of those things where I feel like every marketplace, they don't want you to scale up too quickly. So something I teach is that you can list between 5 and 10 per day for the first, and then you can start to double that after a few days. But you never want to move too quickly with any of your stores. Johnny says, I've been getting into NFTs on Vivi. They have licensed comics into NFTs. Cool. I don't know a lot about NFTs. I mean, that might be the next thing I jump into. But I think, yeah, it's pretty cool stuff. Digital Cash Flow says, how do you get Walmart? Oh, guys, we're almost out of time. How do you get Walmart to stop delivering from stores through DoorDash, for example? There's no way to prevent that from happening. So for those of you who don't know, when you're drop shipping from Walmart, usually Walmart will ship the item to the customer via UPS or FedEx, but sometimes they deliver it, or USPS for that matter, but sometimes they deliver it through DoorDash, where someone will actually just pick it up from the store and deliver it to the customer. You can't prevent that from happening. Now, I think what we've seen is that some items, we'll see it happen more frequently with that item, so we'll just stop selling that item. Or again, there's things you can do when you don't have a real tracking number. These are things I teach inside the course, both my eBay and Facebook Marketplace course. I'm very into crypto and stocks. Cool, man. I would love to kind of hear your take on it. So I don't know, send me a DM on, by the way, any of you guys can send me a DM on Instagram at, what's my new Instagram? At Paul.J Lipsky, I believe it is. Is that right? Yeah. Paul.J Lipsky. Feel free to send me a DM. I'm not using that Instagram to post anything. Long story there. You can watch my video on Instagram as to why that is. So I don't have many followers. I'm not following anybody really. I only have 2 posts. You can watch the video on Instagram to find out why that is, but I'm not going to bother growing it at this point. But I love to DM you guys. I love to talk with you guys over DM. So please send me a DM. Just say what's up if you want. You can talk to me about dropshipping. You can talk to me about crypto and stocks. Just say what's up. I love to talk to you guys. It's been like 3 weeks and my shop hasn't been improved yet. Is this normal? Yes and no. It's definitely a little bit longer, but it's a busy time of the year, so I'm not too surprised that they might be a little bit backlogged. So stick with it. I'm willing to bet by the end of the month. Oh, cool, man. So here's Daniel Sells Online, another great channel. This guy's teaching you guys how to make money online, just like Tyler and myself are. He does not only drop shipping, but some crypto and investing as well. So he says, I'm very bullish, meaning he's like really, how do I describe bullish? Like he's putting a lot into, like he really believes in metaverse and decentralized gaming stocks. A lot of opportunities to make some serious cash via investing. 100%. I agree with you there. I've been looking at some metaverse stocks. Definitely going to jump in on them soon. But one thing at a time. I'm learning some crypto right now. I'm a little behind you, Daniel. A few months behind, or a few years behind you, maybe. Facts. You guys are awesome. I love you guys. Can you do drop shipping on eBay from your phone with no computer? No. People have asked me this. I really think you need a laptop or desktop. Even a Google Chromebook, I think is fine, but you really need a laptop, something like that. Not a iPad or phone to really make it work. All right. All right. 79 in Florida right now. Feels great. I'm sure it does. All right, let me quickly scan through this. Yeah, I'm always far back in the chat. I got about halfway through the chat today. So I apologize for that, guys. So if you guys want to make sure that you get your question answered, come to the live stream early or on time. We do them every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern time, but next week we're not going to have one. I'm going to be traveling, and between traveling and just drop shipping, I'm not going to have time next week, unfortunately, guys. So I know I've done this. I try to make it every single week, and I know like lately I've missed a bunch, but it's a crazy time of the year. So I hope you guys excuse me for that. I'll try to make it up for you guys. I always pretty reliable otherwise. So come to the channel normally at 4 p.m. Eastern time on Tuesdays. Ask your questions early or on right at the beginning to increase your chances of me seeing them and answering them, so I can get your questions answered. But let me see. Yep. Thanks for the reminder for my new Instagram, Paul. Ew. Maybe there's something wrong with that link. Oh, maybe you mean... Oh, well, that's okay. Just Paul.J Lipsky. You'll find it. Thanks for trying. Cool. All right, guys. So thanks so much for hanging out, and I'll see you guys in 2 weeks. But again, I'll be releasing, actually, no, that's not true. Tomorrow I'll be releasing some videos about the crypto course I took, my review of it, and then I'll show you guys the bots later this week for you guys to check out. So make sure you definitely check those out. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. See you guys then.